think everybody's story is important, and I think everybody's story is interesting. My name is Joanne Finney Hatch. I'm 89 years old, and I am a creative writer. My dad was Jim Finney, and he was a cattle inspector and a deputy sheriff in Navajo County for over 30 years. I can remember my folks talking about these old cowboys that were around the country, and some of the things that had happened to them, and I remembered this, and I thought, you know, I'd like to know more about that. Most of these old cowboys were born in the late 1800s and lived out on ranches still, and a lot of them alone. And so usually Gary'd go with me, my husband. Gary and I traveled lots and lots of miles. And he didn't care anything about writing the stories, but he sure loved to listen to them too. And I first wrote Lore and Legends, and it had some of their stories in it and some of the things that they'd been telling me about. They all told me in so many words that they came because they wanted to be cowboys. So that's how the second book, We All Want to Be Cowboys, that's how that came to be. I think they were unique because they lived in a time that's long gone and never will be again. I had heard this story. Labe Hits was his name. He came out of Texas, and he was a one-legged cowboy. He had a wooden leg. He worked with my dad on several ranches down around Holbrook in the late 30s. He was murdered. So I went to some of these men and I said, do you remember Labe Hits? Do you remember what happened? Everybody knew who killed Labe, but nobody was ever charged. I think I loved the research more than the writing. I found that was the real joy out of trying to find the words to make these stories live.
I married one of the Greer girls from St. John's. Women catch hell on a homestead. They stay out there and never get to go anywhere. My wife worked awful hard. She helped start that ranch. She put up with hardships, sorrow, and heartaches. I have built up a hell of a ranch. It's been a great life.
Donated all my research books that I had gathered over the years to the Show Low Historical Society, and they used those as a nucleus to create a nice little library up there. They named the library after me, and I was floored and flabbergasted, but they put a sign on the door that said Joanne Finney Hatch Library. That was a good way to kind of end my writing career. All these stories that I've written were written to remember somebody else, not to remember me. I just think it's important for them to be remembered, and I think they will be.